Good morning. So I just woke up a little while back, and this may seem like another recording of, uh, you know, I made a previous recording when I had a swollen lip, and yeah, so different signs of visha, or what I call as toxin effects in the body, and they're coming from several causes. I have been making podcasts on my on the channel on Spotify. Um, that I've named as MITI Radio, and I'm going to be resuming some more on that because it makes it easier to communicate. But meanwhile, we have YouTube. Yeah, so I made one about it. So today I thought I'll make another one because it's kind of more fresh. Yeah. Now, what do I mean by that is now I'm a person who's talking about a new paradigm and what yoga means. Yeah. And I'm saying movementless yoga. And I'm talking about original humane intelligence in a world functioning by artificial intelligence. And I have been speaking since some time. So that may be seen as um, either irrelevant, yeah, because it's like the grapes are sour, yeah. So I have my own hallucinatory constructs, yeah. All those kinds of thought lines may be there, are there, I think, also in some ways, yeah. Because this is like my work is a bit like mm, water carved the Grand Canyon over time. They didn't even quite imperceptible, quite invisible, maybe in some ways. But it's a new emergence. Health is sometimes like that. Because of the tradition long time that we have been living a particular way, uh, we may not have been able to see that reality could be something slightly different too. Yeah. And what I'm speaking is, I have named it as being particularly different in a way. Yeah. Because I'm calling it as original human intelligence and I'm saying movementless yoga. So it's not necessarily, okay, not necessarily parallel, perpendicular. So, depending on who would like to see it in which angle, which perspective. I know what I'm speaking about is a whole new paradigm in what it means to be human, humane, alive, in love, married. And textbooks, when you read them carefully, have been speaking about my way of living life, which I understand is what Sanatana Dharma is talking about. But it is not a set of traditions and rituals and how you do things that we now also maybe associate with as technology. On this is how you do things. But it's an everyday human practice. And when you read textbooks, the construct of a human being is different from how we perceive it these days. There are several textbooks from many fields of medicine speaking about the human body in their own ways, but we may not have brought the details together, one thing. And even if we did, we still have textual reference by which to bring things together. And then there may be paradigms missing because um, I'm speaking after also 2 years of the pandemic, the learning from microbial activity, um, environmental effects. Now we also have Andromeda Galaxy in different stages of merging with Milky Way Galaxy. So the relevance of what I'm speaking about, the timeline is different from how we have been able to look at things. And also when the textbooks were written, that time they didn't have to deal with, say, for example, you see, my throat is going off. They didn't have to deal with corona, at least not the COVID form of it. And consequently, they also didn't have to deal with several pharmaceutical effects that our body goes through, yeah, has been subjected to also over time. And consequently, how does human body physiology function? And some of the finer details, though we're still talking about the human body, but maybe we'll find references from there as we connect the dots, and then as we see how these are all related, then it becomes easier for us to see, oh, that's true too. Yeah. So today in this video, I'm capturing some of the effects on the body that I'm calling as Visha. And these may be coming from some already existing practices that influences my body. So I used to call it as soul sync practices and remote healing and astral travel practices and how they affect my body. And then I've been calling it as, this merge with. So there's this idea of, divine, yeah? And so merge the energy with the divine. And then, so you're having the same frequency and, merge with the soul, divine, all that stuff. While divine itself is not quite understood as much. Divine, as I understand it, is when you look into the matter, yeah, without changing or making any disruptions, any difference in how matter is. And I often find it's more like a little bit like virus. Your body needs a little antivirus, but this antivirus needs to be in such a way that the virus is not dying, but instead it's more like finding their own way. Yeah, it's like somebody's lost their way and has it having a little effect on your body. And then you need to, this is not right. And it's not right to try to change the composition. So I restore my composition. And then the virus does not have, for example, the lock and key to hold on. And then they just go. Yeah. So it's like they say lock and key energy practices. Every frequency has a lock and key. So consider this frequency thing, hopping and entanglement, quantum mechanics. These are all like these lock and key things. Yeah. So people may have now a new word on how to associate quantum mechanics, because a lot of people are dealing with several coping mechanisms on how to get through their daily routine activities and also to maintain their businesses. Yeah. And some of the businesses may not necessarily be for maintaining health, though they are maintaining health of maybe themselves or their family, their culture, but not necessarily for humanity um, across the boundaries. Yeah. So it benefits some people, does not benefit others. So partial differential equations. And our human body is affected by different people's appreciation of the matter or what they consider to be right. Swami Vivekananda said, I think, yeah, or the Buddha, yeah, there are 100,000 versions of the truth, and every version of the truth is a version of the truth. It's like partial differential equations. We have many truths, but how we put the Lego pieces together need not necessarily be how the whole truth shows up or is there to be seen. It's like we're writing a code, and if there's an overview, so to speak, on how these are matching or not matching, that's when you see the puzzle pieces are not coming together really. So my perspective of Sanatana Dharma, of what is Manushya Dharma, what original humane intelligence mean? Yeah, is from constructing several pieces, looking at several details, and then seeing they match, they don't match, and then I check at why they don't match. And then when I find contradictions, I look at the premises, I find the wrong premise, and then I then see, okay, if this is true, if it's true that one is false, what does it connect? What does this piece then connect with? Or does it connect with, or does it need something else to attach with before it can connect with another? So it's a scientific method. And over time, so I've been calling it as improving consciousness, and then further improving conscience. And then as I further find there are contradictions and I see what's missing, then so it's always work in progress. I call it internal redistribution of units. So then I see these values are fine. There's something better when the constructs are coming together. And then I hold on with that. It's like for all practical purposes, it's more better to stay with this truth, this format, this construct, while looking for what else may be there. This is good. It's like stepwise. You step, yeah, and then you see so much you've gone. It may not be all the way, but this is better than where we have been. Yeah, because what shows up is more true, and it's showing as true through many spheres of influence, many ways of looking at life. So it's better to stand here for our practical purposes unless something better shows up. And that's when it could be through the internal processes or through the external. Yeah. So I've been growing because of me and in spite of me. Me as a person, as an enterprise. And consequently, I have 4 values. So breathe, heal, love, live, to simply look at the matter. And they've emerged from on-table healing work, movement-less yoga, course correction counseling, community harmonizing activities. So breathe, heal, love, live. They kind of have a weave through these 4 verticals, so to speak, vertical. Yeah, because they are each a paradigm in of themselves. Yeah, on how to heal without using any things or medicines. And this is biodynamic, but it's more, it's finer than that because we have biodynamic practices, but they may not be person centric. We may be having body intelligence based, but not person centered. So I have a person centric model of the universe. And from here, when we look at biology, physics, chemistry, mathematics, it's it's very different. Yeah, just put it simply. People have been thinking in terms of singularity, and the math of it is all different, gets so weird after a point. And I've been saying the several of the constants, for example, the Planck constant, yeah, they function to a point and then not so much. Yeah, because that's when things get a little science, math, well, they seem to function a little weird. And I have been living life from a person-centric model of the universe. Yeah. And I've been saying about it. So it's a paradigm difference in how we look at life. I've been calling thought lines other than original human intelligence as artificial intelligence. Yeah. So it's not perpendicular, it's just better. Yeah. And that might rankle people with, what do you mean better? We are living life, from like these thought lines since a very long time. So that's when the challenges start. Yeah. So original human intelligence has been taking the path of least resistance. Yeah. Which means there are common grounds by which we function. And then there are things which is maintaining the disease. We have WHO's global list of diseases. So there are causes for what maintains this disease and what does not allow for longevity, health, wealth, wisdom, sustainable health, wealth, wisdom across boundaries to come about. So we have taken a not so perpendicular. Yeah, we've been slowly reducing our perpendicularity, like standing. This is completely different to how much there are words that I'm using which are actually common. Because I've been saying, for example, mighty ocean. Yeah. Um, and I've been saying mighty baby. Yeah. Um, MITI BAYB. This came from a thought line that homunculus, for example, or I described the pituitary gland as a mighty baby, yeah, um, traveling like a horse, yeah, um, on a seat lined by a gossamer threads of love or something very fine. That's how I describe the pancreas. Now I was thinking, I'm still feeling that way because it still makes sense. And I was thinking, um, there's something to it. Yeah, because these are thought lines that emerged as I was learning uh, therapeutically in the field of biodynamics, biodynamic craniosacral therapy. So I'm a practitioner, and I keep looking at health and why does disease happen as per the Hippocrates oath. We're required to keep improving what we do. So that's also called practice. You, as a practitioner, somebody who constantly keep looking at what is missing, why do things happen, what can be done to improve the matter. Hippocrates oath offers set of thought lines. Um, and that's when I saw the mighty baby, yeah, was changing in spelling. Yeah. And I was thinking, how does the mind function in such a way that known songs, for example, yeah, when you sing it and how you internalize or you see the song may be different from how the song or the movie is being said. And over time, sometimes it seems like your song is better than that song, the song that was created. So I have MITI BAYB, and I had to wonder what in the world, how did my intellect put together this construct? Where does this all come to? Over time, mighty baby came to, there's a mighty ocean, that became MITIOSHIN. That's when I discovered Chinese have this idea of ocean. So they're talking about stream of consciousness and ocean of consciousness. Now I'm thinking OCEAN, no. O apostrophe SHIN. So there are so many words like this. From not seeing things in a paradigm, in a context, either you know about these words or don't know about them. When the time is right, yeah, then it's like another piece of the puzzle kind of comes to you, either from a social media or from a billboard or from somebody talking to you, and then it just goes ting, yeah, because that is relating with what you have been thinking about, and it just connects. And then one more piece of the puzzle just joins there. Yeah. So there's a technology to it. I've been calling it as connect dot technology. Well, so to speak. Because over time, I have four paradigms. So I call it community harmonizing activities. Connect dot. So um, I've been doing this in some time, and what I discovered, I've been sharing it with people. Yeah. Um, so then there's an opportunity to look at our bits of information in newer perspective. Yeah. Then you kind of turn around a bit. Yeah. See things from a different angle, and then you're able to say maybe this is true. Yeah, because it just connects more. It makes more sense. So there have been many people listening to me. So even though I'm using apparently gibberish, yeah, because I'm talking about original humane intelligence, and these are words that hasn't been heard before. But yet, how I mean it, even though I'm calling it as a mighty baby, you may be hearing it as MIGHTY BABY. Yeah. Even though I'm pronouncing it this way, you understand it from your known context of thinking. So, um, and what I'm speaking is not outlandish. It is human. Yeah. It's just that I speak in this way, and there are fine constructs. How they're all related is how I put things is different from how people are understanding it. Because there are several paradigms of thinking, context missing in how people can understand it. So um, there have been encouragement of continue, because what I'm speaking is healthy, wealthy wise. But our sense and sensibilities are not able to perceive it when the context is not readily available. Like when I say rocket science or NASA, yeah, you're more likely to construct with okay, rocket science, space science and all of that. Or when I say machines, yeah, engineering. That may be the context. Or when I say tally in accounts, yeah, that field. When you know that field to which these words belong, it's easy for you to think, okay, this is it. And when I say yoga, you're likely to think your own known ideas of yoga. Yeah. Striking poses, pranayama, dhyana, and whatever you've seen of other people doing yoga and what your understanding of it is. And then I'm saying movementless yoga. So those who already know it, take the information that I'm putting according to their own understanding of it, put it into their existing memory database, and then say, oh, now I got it. Yeah. And over time, some things are making sense, some things are not making sense. And what they don't yet make sense, they do like a baby go, yeah. You try to put something with babies, either when the baby is full or don't quite like it. And, yeah. So they just reject it. Yeah. And what makes sense, then they contemplate about the matter. So the Grand Canyon has been slightly forming. Yeah. So since the paradigms of thinking, the landscapes, it's slowly changing in how we perceive life. So this has been happening since some years. Yeah. And so there is much encouragement to continue. Continue, because what I'm saying is making sense. Yeah. I'm more profitable this side of life. Yeah. So meanwhile, there are these concerns like merging and what do you call it as frequency hopping, astral travel. Yeah. They call it, yoga practitioners also call it as mystic practices. Yeah. And my body, you can kind of, now we have the computer, so I can speak in terms of this. The ancients who wrote textbooks didn't have the computer for a reference. Yeah. So my body computer, for a point of reference, is actually more human. Okay, let's take the thought line of a computer to understand my condition, my experience um, as a human. We have several paradigms of thinking to go from there. Robotics also is kind of a taking from a little further from the idea of the computer, but a human being is much more than that. The shape of a human being has not been had reason to be thought about. And I'm thinking a person is a universe, yeah, functioning amongst other universes. So we are in a multiverse. And that takes our thought lines into, like right out there. Yeah. Because our idea of universe is galaxies, planets, stars. Yeah. And I'm saying we're all in different circles, in our own constellations. We all churn a daily grind by our own circles. That's also like galaxies. Yeah. So you could say it's out there, but we have galaxies for a point of reference. So you can use those thought lines to be able to kind of explain the condition of how of a universe functions. Each person being in our own universes. And we have humanity across boundaries, the multiverse all talking together. That needs to still happen. Meanwhile, my body computer organic also deals with virus concerns. And we also have microbes. We also have astral travel people, mystical practices. So you don't necessarily call them as viruses now, do you? Yeah. There's also this merging, frequency merging, and all those things. Now, that's not simply heard in terms of the radio or electronics or quantum mechanics, but we also hear it in terms of human beings relating with, we are all a particular frequency. Yeah. So this is where microparticle science and macroparticle science kind of, you can think in terms of, okay, they kind of talk to each other. Maybe you can consider the matter. And I'm speaking from a different paradigm of thinking. So I'm speaking from a person-centric model of a universe, and you may be thinking about microparticle, macroparticle science interaction from a other than that perspective. I call it artificial intelligence, things-based, yeah. And my paradigm of thinking is from nothing, no thing. So the Bible, the book of Genesis says, in the beginning there was nothing. So I'm speaking all original all the way from there. Yeah. So there's a science that people have been trying to talk about through ancient textbooks. And I'm saying this is how Sanatana Dharma is. Yeah. So this may be sitting perpendicular to many people's idea of what is Sanatana Dharma. So I'm subjected to different kinds of, let's say, particle belting, your idea belting. That's not true. And then you have argument. And nevertheless, truth is truth. And wholesome truth is bigger, yeah, have more substance. Then it's like a punch, yeah. Versus fingers alone, so to speak. If you've got the fingers together, that's fine, which means you're closer to the fist. Um, and we could have different puzzle pieces, and you have a mosaic of ideas of what is Sanatana Dharma. And then you stand by it. That is true because your life has been working by some of these puzzle pieces functioning. Because for all practical purposes, it works for them to work from these puzzle pieces. Yeah. And for me, I put it together and this works for me. So my theory of everything may be different from your theory of everything. And your universe functions by your theory of everything. And when you discover, oh, that may not be true, then you slightly change the puzzle piece or the orientation of it, and then you come to a better understanding. And that's how you make changes in how you live life. You didn't know you was doing this mistake. And then you make corrections. Yeah. Your values update, and then you make course corrections. Yeah. So each of us is doing this. Yeah. We may just not be doing on-table therapy work. Yeah. But we do some form of healing to maintain our health. Say you have a wound, you apply an ointment or you go to a doctor. Yeah. That is still healing. So what I'm speaking of, there is healing, breathing, everyone is breathing, loving, living. Yeah. So we all have our own ideas of what these four are. So I'm speaking what everybody knows. It's just not the same. Yeah. The Upanishads by Miss Valerie Roebuck speaks about nothing is different, semicolon, nothing is different. It took some time for me to figure out what was that. Why is she saying the same thing twice? Then I discovered nothing is different. Nothing is different. This has been done in the Upanishads. Now I have to still see what is the exact correlate of this in the Vedic version of the Upanishads because I have the English version and I'm seeing this. Yeah. So the textbook that I've been reading over time, that's percolated through to me. And then from here, bouncing back at the, say, the Vedic, the Hebrew, Dravidian, that we have many languages, textbooks. I've been putting together languages and then seeing how these ideas are all matching. We also have the Quran, the Bible, yeah, Guru Granth Sahib. They're all thought lines from different fields of work, different ways of thinking. And we are talking about humanity across boundaries. So it's like everybody seeing things from their own Lego pieces, from their own theory of everything. And when they look at me from their perspective, it affects my composition, my constitution, my health. Yeah. So I put up a video on YouTube on balancing between left and right sides. Yeah, front and back, up and down. I haven't yet mentioned about in and out. Yeah, but this is also how I maintain health. I call it as movementless yoga. And it's from a person-centric model of the universe. Yeah. And from a human body as the experiencer of life. So some people have their, they say nazar, yeah, from the front, some from side, back, and all of that. And our health needs to be maintained well enough. Yeah. Because we are not two-dimensional like a paper. Yeah. We have many directions. We can't just say three-dimension. Yeah. Because this angle is also a dimension. Yeah. When you kind of draw and represent it, human being is many dimensions. Yeah. And our idea of dimension may be quite out there, or time space. Yeah. Those lines of thought, those kinds of thought lines. For me, it's simple. N dimension is many dimension, not just paper like. Yeah. So people may be calling this as 3D, three-dimensional. For me, this is n-dimensional. Yeah. Because From every little angle, then you look at the human being is seen differently. Yeah. So for me, life is very simple. But this is not how people are talking. Yeah. So I have communication challenges because everybody understand what I'm saying in their own ways. If I'm talking to 10 people in a room, each of those 10 people, yeah, will understand the matter in their own ways. And it would still make sense. If I ask a question after what I spoke, they will each give their own answers. And I will collect those answers and be able to come with a more unified field. Well, no, unified understanding or a more unifying understanding, such that the next time when I talk about the topic, there's a better understanding. Yeah. And all of us come to the same page. Yeah. So I call it as contemplation. Yeah. Many templates. We each have our own templates of what happened, an incident. And then we need to kind of get all the stories, your story, their story, my story, and then put it all together. And what's the true story? Yeah. So yeah, so that becomes possible as we are regularly interacting. It becomes possible for all of us to come to the same page. Yeah. Now I'm speaking about the book of life. Yeah. I don't know if that's the reference to the book of Genesis, Guru Granth Sahib. Yeah. Because here there is still reference to a book, and we each refer to a textbook. And then there's this idea of book of Vishanti. Yeah. In Doctor Strange series. Yeah. Everybody's talking about a book. And then there's a book of life. Yeah. Where it is not mix and match and all those things, but there is a fine way by which there is no clashes. Yeah. Which where it is I tend to call it as a user manual. Yeah, user manual for Manushya Dharma or for being humane. And in such a way that we are regularly growing. Yeah. So I have those paradigms of thinking by which to get us all to the same book of life. Yeah. And at least the same page. Yeah. Okay. So we're all reading from the same code, yeah, on how to be healthy, wealthy, wise. So many people have attempted to do this. So we have many prophets, messiahs, messengers. And I happen to come with these thought lines. Yeah. Okay. On that note, I will continue with why I started this video. Okay. This is kind of sounding like a journal come message to millions plus. Yeah. Another of my videos, I don't know, another something to, oh yeah, listen to, or somebody saying something. Yeah. This will make sense in your own ways. If you show this video to many people, they will all each understand it in their own ways. Yeah, now I got it. That's how when kids are sitting in a school and teachers teaching, everybody understands it in their own ways. Yeah, and according to different paradigms. Yeah, somebody gets a rank, somebody's picking up, developing because their way of understanding is different from others. So he says, and then there are people saying school system is broken. It's not. This is how human beings develop. How the construct of a human being, how a human being functions, that itself has not been able to be seen in perspective. And consequently, wisdom, wealth, and health challenges happen there. It's required a wholesome or a conglomerate science, I tend to call as conscience. So conscience has been needing to be improved, yeah? Person to person, country to country, continent to continent. Paradigms from traditions, yeah? And what do I do to maintain being me while there are all these mergings? And did you notice in the beginning of this video, I had my throat go a little like that? Because there is this mind control practices on what I'm going to speak. I'm going to control how you speak and what you say and what you think. Yeah. Um, so I'll convert you. Yeah. Those thought lines by psychic practices. Yeah. So all this is going on. Has been going on for some time. Yeah. But it's just that we haven't recognized what it takes to turn around the matter and maintain being you, maintain being healthy. So several researchers, yeah, I'm the subject to several people's, oh, if I do this, then what you'll do, yeah. And then there's this thing of, oh, she's doing it, yeah. So I listen to people. So they would say God listened to people. So I keep I listen with my skin. So I'm like the frog in the well. Yeah. And as I'm doing weller and weller, my space gets better and better. So one round, yeah, zero. And then as you're doing better, it's more like well has rings. Yeah. I put on more girth, kind of like a tree puts on girth, and then you become a tree of life. Yeah, I've got so many, yeah, layers. I got many zeros. Okay, but only it's just a like tree. Yeah, it's not just like flat Earth theory. No, no. Yeah. So you could say galaxy. Yeah, black hole. That's said to be kind of round, like like a cylinder long. Only this is tree of life. Yeah, are alive and beautiful. So different people are influenced by different spheres of influence. Yeah, you'd say like Saturn, but we have that reference of Saturn, and then we need to keep the circles together because otherwise, yeah, you don't want to spin in your own ways because we need to get them all together. Yeah. So I've been calling it a Samudra Manthan. Yeah, keep it. It's like you have this wet grinder. It keeps getting the rice together and making it finer batter. Yeah. Better batter. Kind of. Bitter butter, better butter. Yeah, it's more like batter. Kind. Batter in the sense finer people. Yeah, there is no violence going on. Yeah. So I have non-violent practices, but sometimes it's like an octopus. Yeah, when I'm a human, and when it hurts a bit, subconsciously go tishkyo. Yeah, and then have you seen an octopus? Yeah, and then you just say, don't do that. And then over time you discover, don't do that. And then you internal redistribution of units. You learn what better to do and what not to do. Everybody developing in art this way only. Yeah, I've just done a few more years of work and I have a health-based perspective. So I'll be able to offer many more perspectives by which you begin to become healthier, wealthier, wiser sooner. Because when you go to an engineering college, yeah, how you put things together is different from, I'm not talking medical college because we have many medical colleges. Yeah, and every person is seeing human body from their own perspective, Ayurveda from their perspective, Unani from their perspective. Yeah. So I don't know, engineering college, there is many types. My paradigm of thinking, engineering is this. And you have medicine, because I'm thinking in terms of medicine, so I'm seeing so much varieties. So, okay, you go to an chartered accountant school, you have a certain way of thinking. And then when you learn better, you update the material. So I'm like a university, yeah, of life. I wouldn't saying I'm like a multi-specialty hospital. Yeah, there are specialties for many, many years. So I'm like walkie-talkie multi-specialty hospital. Yeah. And then I discover everybody is talking about healing and healing. Yeah. Nobody's talking about health. So then I thought it's not hospital, hospitality. Yeah. And then I've been thinking like a restaurant. You have good food and you get healthy, and you're not patients. You'll have people dealing with a health challenge or a wealth challenge or a wisdom challenge. And when you find those right perspectives, those paradigms of thinking, you're not having those challenges. You just get better. Yeah. So I've been thinking mighty restaurant. I call it restaurant because you rest, you kind of sit in a place. You go to a restaurant, you sit in a place and have a nice pleasant moment. And then depending on what you order, what you feed, you become better. So we have social media. There's this idea of feed. So I keep feeding content into different social media as posts, as feeds. Yeah. And then those are sitting in my different social media challenges. Yeah. Depending on as I'm improving content there, you get that feed and then you have something to think about. Just scroll, scroll. There are many kinds of scrolls. Yeah. There are many trains going to all kinds of directions. It's about what is being delivered through this train, through this channel. It's like meals on wheels. Me, meals on wheels, like the me stuff. Yeah. Al is also called as the. Yeah. Al translates to the. So the me stuff on through my social media channels. Yeah. So it's meals on wheels. We're all going round. Yeah. There's a carousel and all those kinds. Yeah. Um, And we each understand in our own turn. Yeah, we all have our own Russian roulette, so to speak. Yeah, kind of. You click a button, that's like triggering a point, and then depending on what's there, yeah, it either comes through your mouth or yeah, or you get through the social media channel. Click a button, you get the information. So we were kind of changing what it means to be human or how economy functions ecologically. Yeah. So maybe people have been bouncing off of my ideas too in their own ways and then coming up with new creatives. So we've been having ecological projects, movies coming up, songs and stories and narratives of what life is or how to become healthy. Different people arrive at their own ways. What is not understood is that our birth, each person's birth, is from different aspects of the human body. In mythology, there's reference to, oh, he was born from Parvati or Shakti's liver, yeah, or from the intestine, or from the head. Or there's this idea of sati, yeah. Sati, so many pieces, so to speak. There's 52 Shakti Pitas. And accordingly, we have so many temples. And there are paradigms of thinking from that. Similarly, we may not be thinking that people emerge from these different body parts. Yeah. So some people are thinking more, oh, insulin. Yeah. And or some people are thinking more computer. No matter how you put, where you put, they're thinking only that. Because that's the way to think. Because it's not like emerging from microbial, plant, animal. Um, in the Upanishads by Ms. Valerie Roebuck, there's a reference to flora and fauna are the body hair of earth. They're not really saying earth, are my body hair. Flora and fauna are my body hair in reference to the self. There's this sentence. And as I think about it, I'm thinking we are all like flora and fauna. We're like animals, plants. Yep. Uh, we are regarded from the fauna. Yeah. Plants maybe from the flora. In terms of evolution and how we function. Yep. Phyllotaxy. Or classification of where we originate from or how we function according to behavioral characteristics. Yeah. So in that sense, we are all like Earth's body hair. Yeah. We're moving around. But while Earth is also rotating, revolving, we are at the mercy, so to speak, of this dust from the stars, galaxies, universe, multiverse. Yeah. That we then wash off when we have a bath. We clean the ground, our homes. So the dust that's there in our places is also coming from many places. So this movie, The Golden Compass, refers to dust. And it took some time for me to think about why is dust regarded like with so much of reverence and awe. Now I was thinking of dust and I was having dust allergies. Yeah. Since childhood, I've been thinking dust allergy. And then over time, I got used to dust. Yeah, my allergy kind of reduced to now. Uh, some people, my house owner. Yeah. He was looking at why is your house like this? Yeah. So I'm kind of having a little Einsteinian moment because I think I read a book where they was talking about Einstein living in his own apartment, doing his stuff, and people not being able to understand what in the world is he talking about. Why is he like this? Yeah. I don't know if people are still looking at his texts and wondering what is happening. Yeah. So, and I'm sharing my findings through different social media, different details. And I'm there's also this thing of upload your content. So um, now I'm slowly developing a course by which I can upload my content, yeah, in a way that makes sense. Otherwise, it would seem a lot of gibberish, yeah, in an orderly manner. So um, your support and encouragement would help me in putting together the book of life. Yeah. So we're all having more the benefits of original human intelligence, benefits of having sustainable health, wealth, wisdom, but simply putting up content online, it does not help because people read from their own paradigms of thinking. Yeah. So you might read the same page, but not quite understand it the same way. So I need to corroborate what I'm speaking, even if I'm, say, I've been writing blogs, making videos, podcasts. So I need to corroborate what I'm saying with other means of communication. For example, my body language. Yeah. The sounds that I make. Podcast does communicate something, but getting it all together, video kind of brings the body language a bit, the sounds, the video, yeah, and also the words. So they kind of they say if a picture speaks 1,000 words, a video speaks 10,000 words. A wise person said a 1 minute video speaks 1.8 million words. Yeah, I don't know how they did the calculation of it, but so I'm trying to communicate. It's like a fast track, small little bites, and then you can get many. So those who are watching this are understanding what I'm saying through many, many ways of thinking. Yeah. So this is fast track communication that depends on who's understanding what. Yeah. So, and then developing the course so you can see it in a more systematic manner. So I am facing with some communication challenges, but we have the video, we have the technology now. And then to be able to um, communicate, to document what I'm saying in a way that artificial intelligence is getting better, getting to original humane intelligence concepts. Yeah. Things go as far as things go, but I've also heard they are thinking about skin and many things. But what I do know from these many years of practice and contemplation is that things go as far as things go, and then there is nothing. And that requires a human body to be able to hold on to nothing and then to make nothing better and thereby enliven life in the multiverse. So, our attachment to artifice, artifice, has been limiting our development, our evolution, our ways of being and becoming. Several scholars, Adi Shankaracharya, for example, Ramana Maharshi, yeah, many people have Anandamayi Mata, yeah, many people have been researching on several details. Bose-Einstein theories, yeah, the work there, they've all been closely related. Mr. Fermi's work, yeah. So Mr. Abraham Lincoln, yeah. Mr. Einstein, Charlie Chaplin, Alice in Wonderland, yeah. Um, Tolkien, yeah. Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter series. So many people have been trying to communicate many things, but we understand in our own ways, yeah. And then over time, the Disney movies, yeah, they've all been contributing in their own ways. Microsoft, Apple, you may think it's products, but these products are working towards a better understanding, a better way of how we look things, how we function, and not go clash clash. There's a simpler way of doing things. There's a finer. That's also yoga. So I've been saying I've been growing because of me and in spite of me. It's also there are contributions from everywhere. Yeah. So I cannot say me because it is we, because there's this movie, KGF. The protagonist there um, set an account like money, yeah, where just about everybody, a lot of people have been putting into that account, yeah, and they didn't know that they're actually contributing to maintaining KGF, yeah, or the whole. You should watch that movie, yeah. And this is like, so what I'm doing is like everybody has an account in what I'm doing, developing. You already, because you're um, alive on Earth, in the universe as we know it, everybody has an account. So there's a self-interest for everybody. Yeah. So, and then I'm improving self. I'm improving. So I'm like the self of all human beings. But it's also, so there's like the homunculus, but that's also humanity across boundaries. Yeah. And then like the river that flows in the at the bottom of it all. Right now, there's this reference of Rishabhavati. Yeah, with many contributories. It's looking like a drain. I haven't gone to that side. But when I last checked, it was looking like a drain, a drainage sewage river. Still, it's a river. It is still called Rishabhavati. Yeah. And so my condition is like the Ganga purifying itself, or the river of life purifying itself, such that it's maintaining being river, water. Yeah. Um, that's also called Ganga. Yeah. In the sense, you maintain the clarity, the originality, the Zamzam. Yeah. Which is also referring to pure, yeah, that kind of original, the society of the Virgin Mother, which basically means original humane intelligence. But we may not be able to see it in that sense. And what does it take to be? Original, virginally original, like how we were born from the mother's ovum, like earth, ovum.
So this is the documented moment of conception. And the sperm enters the egg, and there's this poof of light that comes off of it. Scientists are studying this, and they're looking at it, and they're like, okay, well, it looks like it's a release of zinc, a burst of zinc that comes off the egg, and it creates this appearance. But any way you slice it, they can't explain away that light happens when life happens. Is that amazing?
And we, each of us, are having a body that's human, which means we are like the ovum fertilized. We have the spine, which is like the sperm, yeah, and we have the body, which is like the ovum. So each of us, whether or not we like mother, father, we are looking like the sperm and ovum. And this is the idea of the Celtic cross, yeah, shield and cross, sword and shield. So I hope this gives you a little paradigm of thinking on what the Celts may be talking about. But there's this idea of all the rooted, yeah, all the roots all knotted. There's a Celtic knot, for example, ideas. Different people have been trying to talk about things that are all related in their own ways of trying to put things together. And then there's this idea of conversion, yeah, trying to convert. You have one part of the equation, you don't really know the other part, so you try to convert, yeah. So this conversion thought lines is coming from there. And then we have businesses looking to convert people into paid customers. So there is this again. So a business of everyday living is also having these conversion thought lines. So I'm wondering about, and people are kind of cynical, resigned, yeah, about some aspects of business and marketing. And there's this video I saw where marketing is seen as as the latest problem. The Matrix series was talking about therapists being the problem, yeah, and then I discovered, oh, marketing also has a problem. And that kind of tallies with what I've been thinking, that how people are resigned, cynical, a little, yeah, with these thought lines because of certain practices. Yeah. And I've been trying to bring down WHO's global list of diseases because as I look at why is this there? Why are we having diseases? Why is there discomfort there? I find so many root causes. So I made a video with some of these, the findings that I discovered over time, some of the findings I made, and then I noticed it's like Hanuman's tale. Yeah, it keeps getting long and long and long. And then I thought I had to post this. I cannot just keep only making the video. So I just put it all together and said to be no, and counting. Yeah, and then posted the video. So it's there on my channel. I call it as Mighty Health Pitch. Yeah. So then I have this video that I'm talking about. So there is several. It's considered like encyclopedias of wellness, health, wealth, wisdom. So you may think you've gone to school and learned so much, and now comes another. So this is like a whole new multiversity. So because we have engineering and accounts and medicine and sociology and cooking and all kinds of thought lines, dance and music and singing and yeah. So when you talk to me, you kind of have a little bit of a little like Montessori, yeah, basics to advanced, yeah, on job. So it's about how to become healthy, wealthy, wise, like a multiversity. So I hope this gives you a little pause for thought on some of the conditions I may be facing, yeah, in being able to communicate with different people. So I'm using many, many media, yeah, available to be able to communicate how healthy and natural breathing is practiced. I'll give you a little demonstration. Yeah. Did you notice my voice is going like this and this? Yeah. It's also from a little bit of mind technique and all happening. Yeah. Mind control. When I'm speaking certain things, people are more interested and speak more. Yeah. Because they may be from the throat. They may have emerged from my throat thought lines, or some people from the liver thought lines, or from the intestines, or from different parts of the body. So I'm like Shakti Pita. All the 52 come together. I'm all footwork. You know, in Aikido, there's a footwork. You know, move in such a way that, like that even rice paper won't crack. So movementless yoga is like that. Yeah, it's like a cucumber, sea cucumber, or this aquarium cleaning fish. Yeah, all the time cleaning, so the water is remaining fresh. The sea cucumber also does this cleaning work. So I'm like this untouchable. आई मैं तो आई नजरों के अनजाने एक जहां से. Yeah, the song Pari talks about it. And so the idea of the winged creature, yeah, Pari, like has left and right sides. That's also like Shravana, yeah, holding history and herstory together finally. Yeah. Because our body, there's this idea of the caduceus and Asclepius. Caduceus has those wings, yeah. Asclepius has the snake. I think it's a python, yeah, coiled around the staff. So this is the like the caduceus and Asclepius, yeah. So that's why health and economy, yeah. Caduceus is related with economy, and Asclepius with medicine. So yeah, okay. And Hatha Yoga has been also talking about her and her. So two sides keeping it together. So this is how yoga looks like. Okay. Now, to maintain my own Shakti Pita. Yeah. So there's this Shakti and the Shakta. So here, Shakti, keeping it together, and Shakta, also growth. Yeah. So this is like fission and fusion, keeping it together, nucleus, all to find together. And I'm talking um, um, because I'm required to talk. I've been doing this since some years, and I've been saying this to people too. Yeah. So there's this idea of the Chandrasekhar limit. But I also recognize when things are a little tense, it's like an earthworm. You digest and digest and digest, and after some time you need to poop. Yeah. So when the pressure is a little more on, I go to different media and then just talk. You know? So it's like um, you're accumulating. After some point, you simply need to, yeah, free stock. Yeah, because we need to have some more space to make more. And then don't know who's understanding what. Yeah, so then it's not sustainably becoming better. People are still getting better, but we're not. It's like school children. Yeah, you need to learn to do this yourself. But meanwhile, everybody is developing. Everybody is becoming healthy, wealthy, wise. According to bits of information that each person is able to understand. Yeah, so this is like Toyota. Yeah, where Toyota is said to have introduced. Okay, okay. Maybe it's not so fine, but you can look up the history of how Toyota um, became a common name, yeah, in several economies. And Toyota is known for the quality of work, yeah, because there's an ad that says, "Have you ever seen a Toyota broken?" Yeah, so when you see that, it's kind of yeah. So there are several fine details. So I'm like Toyotaing it. Yeah, I've been making it available, or how coffee was introduced to Japan. Yeah, because people didn't have any idea of coffee. They introduced coffee toffees, and then stories developed around how what is coffee or what coffee means to them. And then when they're trying to sell coffee as powder or as a brew, then there is more buy-in because there are stories there, and something that you can relate with. Context is there. So I've been also cultivating my market. So we are having paradigms of thinking of what is health versus disease. What does health look like? So we have stories, movies, um, write-ups, and discussions happening around health. Yeah. So how much are we talking about health? We have a whole new syllabus coming out. Yeah. But it won't be so foreign because we are a little more acclimatized to what health or becoming healthy, being healthy is more like. There are also talk about body producing hope molecules. Yeah. So there are um, now there is also reference to zero alcohol, smoke not so. Earlier that used to be about smoking, but now we are talking about zero alcohol. So our economy is slowly becoming healthy in the sense what it takes to maintain being sustainably healthy, wealthy, wise. And then our thought lines on how to make money while the economy is getting healthier. Yeah, there are also shifts, change in what makes how people make money. Yeah, so um, it's just so much more is possible from health-based economy, ecological economics. So our economies are changing. Yeah, thought lines are changing. Some people have been calling it as the VUCA world. Yeah, where things are volatile, uncertain. Um, okay, again I missed it. 1 minute. VUCA is an acronym that stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. So different people are dealing with uncertain these VUCA concepts in their own ways by which to then recover from the pandemic effect. But there's also reference to our banks getting affected. And so what money means has been also going through a transformation. So we are having a healthier economy. There's also now reference to money is not just this thing, but it's also a concept, an exchange of values. So there are thought lines are uh, going through a paradigm shift in thinking. There's also, for example, Mr. Robin Sharma, who spoke about money is not the only way to interact. There are 8 forms. Yeah. So he has his thought lines. So there have been many people speaking for me. Yeah. And people have been doing their own work and contributing to slightly changing our paradigms of thinking. And I have a whole lot of basics. Um, from a person-centric model of the universe. Science is dealing with several kinds of concerns, and my thought lines is about enlivening life in the multiverse. Where we are on Earth, solar system, other planets are yet discovering on how to have life. Yeah. So now there's reference to Jupiter having North Pole and South Pole, and I'm thinking, was this always there, or is it now? Because does historical reference also talk about North and South Pole, or now we are able to zoom into Jupiter? Yeah, because now our technology is more advanced, so we can look into Jupiter. So developing that technology also takes some paradigm shift. The fabric of time space has been healing. So now you can zoom a little more and think technology in your ways. So now we have artificial intelligence. When we had computers and then internet, and then we have artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence, different stages of coming to artificial general intelligence. That's the goal. And then I'm talking about original humane intelligence. So this is, I'm a techno socio health edupreneur. Yeah. So there's technology, sociology, health, and education, by which I'm cultivating a market. Yeah. Healthy market. Yeah. By 4 values: heal, breathe, love, live. Yeah. And there's a ShriChakra for a point of reference, frame of reference. And we have other chakras also, but we have to hold on to some wheel. Yeah. And then reinvent our own constructs of reality. So we're all talking about hamster in a wheel. Remember, if we improve the wheels, then how we live life, how we relate with others. Watch has many wheels. And when they're all finely connected, we have a precise watch. The movie Golden Compass is also talking about a compass. Yeah, the compass is made by many wheels coming together. Yeah. So there's our idea of dust. Yeah. So I hope you will look at dust a little differently. Yeah. And may not be in so much of a hurry um, in just dusting it all off. Yeah. How do you know the dust that's settling on your body is from another multiverse? Yeah. And then you don't know what is just dust. Yeah, I think. But how do you know? Yeah. When you're being mindful, respect, honor, dignity, respect the unknown. Yeah. Um, when you have respect, honor, and dignity for yourself and for what's also settling on your skin, um, that's when the corona effect, the corona radiata effect, yeah, when the sperm meets the ovum forms a little close off, yeah, and any other sperms get killed, yeah. That may have been the first corona effect, yeah. But how? What does Earth do? Just that we also have asteroids and many other planets having their influence and all going about their own daily activities. What is Earth doing to turn around the situation? Yeah. Um, so how is Earth alive? While others are still wondering what does it mean to be human? Yeah, to be alive. So how is Earth protecting health? So we have an iconic leader. Yeah, a leader is more like a center also. Yeah, because you got to watch for the start and the finish of it. And so you're being in the center. So you can watch for both extremes. Yeah. So the reason for coming into existence continues to become better. Yeah. And then that's also how we turn around the matter. Since the Big Bang, Earth is doing a remarkable work. And the sun and moon and planets and stars and galaxies. And we have an entire family. I call it the universe, who's watching for Earth becoming better. Yeah, like Earth, we have the idea of the circle and a dot. Yeah, the idea of the sphere and a dot. Yeah, universe and Earth. So, very different thought lines. Yeah. And we have Andromeda Galaxy in different stages of merging with Milky Way Galaxy. I often keep thinking that's like another family member looking into how are you doing? Yeah, do you need some support? Things are going well. Are you keeping on with the job of enlivening life in the multiverse? Yeah. So this is the overview. Yeah. So either you do it or I'm going to suck you off. No. Yeah. So that's not like it. So it's like the ocean in the movie Moana. Yeah. The baby Moana's hair was like that. Yeah. So keeping up the matter and not get sucked out. Yeah. Not like your soul coming out of your head. Yeah. So what does it take to keep it together? Such that microcosm, macrocosm, 50-50. You are functioning amongst the people and your life is not getting vampired out. Yeah. So everybody is doing their own churns. So what does it take to keep it together? So while there are other people are looking at what is happening, yeah, how is the development progress and all that, I'm making these videos to communicate the matter. So this is a receiver message to the multiverse. Yeah. Thank you so much for your kind attention. I hope this gives you a little perspective on some of the challenges that I face on a regular basis through the day and through the night, and then how to restore health. Now I have my voice thing, so I need to um, heal my throat. Yeah, some restoring the composition. The voice is maintained fine. Like brushing your teeth, you need to do that regularly. Similarly, I need to take care of different parts of my body to maintain um, being to maintain the concepts of original humane intelligence. Otherwise, we tend to forget. And then we have the idea of the Manusmriti. Yeah, remembering what it is to be human. And then I also have to write it. So this is Manushya Dharma. Yeah, this is not just Shrauta. You're listening. It's not Manushrauta, listening to the radio and then listening to frequencies. And this is Smriti. It's also called manuscript. Manuscript is also your scripting your content. And then over time that becomes a book. Yeah. So we are all doing all of this, our own manuscript. That is those who are writing, those who haven't had a tiff with writing and would just rather record audios. Yeah. And then there is Manushya Dharma on how to sustainably be healthy, wealthy, wise. And that requires putting the universe together, getting our universe together, our idea of that involves like Earth has two species keeping it together on the planet, the male species and female species. Yeah. There's this idea of the Anunnaki. This is rolling on to the next one. See, mine is like progressive house. Keeps keep adding on. I tried to make a video. Can you imagine? Yeah, I had to say and counting. Yeah. So I will just tell this also. Like this one more, one more. Ooh, I'm definitely Indian. Okay. This is the idea of the Anunnaki, where Anu is like Anu, yeah, or atom. One way to look at it, but it's also like the god, yeah. And Ki is like the goddess of earth, yeah. Um, so this is like Na is like Narayana, yeah. But there are finer details. You can look it up on Google. It's all available, yeah. So these texts have been written over several years, yeah. Anunnaki. Um, so like Earth, I've been thinking there's this theory that's going on that a Mars-sized planet named Theia collided with Earth during one of the five, no, collided with maybe, I'm thinking it's not with Earth, but it's with Gaia, maybe, yeah. Or it's all, there is also the reference of an asteroid falling into the Pacific Ocean, a large body of water, Pacific Ocean, that then um, was one of the five events that had a mass life extinction, those thought lines. And then over time, then life then evolved to we have so many varieties now. Yeah. And we have the male and female species.
There's this poof of light that comes off of it. Scientists are studying this and they're looking at it and they're like, okay, well, it looks like it's a release of zinc, a burst of zinc that comes off the egg and it creates this appearance. But any way you slice it, they can't explain away that light happens when life happens.
Yeah, so that also may be like God as bringing one seed of life, maybe the male species, and Earth being the female species. We all tend to refer to Earth as Mother Earth. Gaia is also said to be like Mother Universe. So I'm thinking this has happened before also. But here, or one, there's been a collision of some sort, yeah, with Gaia, and then that may also have been like the Big Bang, yeah. And over time, there has been several levels of healing, cooling. To now we have, there used to be warring tribes. Now we are working on turning around WHO's global list of diseases. Yeah, at least I am. Different people are in our own ways. Yeah. We all have our own spheres of influence, spheres of thinking. Yeah. Each one contributing to having life be sustainable, healthy, wealthy, wise. Yeah. So that's also like, so in the understanding of a human being, we need to understand that we are like a double wall glass. Yeah. So there's the antaranga and bahiranga, inside and outside. Yeah. And that's also a bit like we have the spine, like a sperm, and we have the body, like the ovum. So we're already born with our own complementary partner. Yeah. That may not be popular ways of thinking, but we're already, um, I call it as the little me and the big me. Yeah. We're all related. And then there is um, each of us are born to parents. Yeah. So mother, father. So then we have the male species and female species. So each of us have our own multiverse. Hatha yoga. We need to keep the father and the mother aspects finely balanced, equally important. Yeah. That's also we have, that's also like the caduceus. Our economy functions well when we regard mother and father equally important. There's a story of Shravana. Incidentally, Shravana also means hear. So that's why you have 2 ears. You need to regard both your ears as equally important. And if you do, whether or not you have problems with your father and mother, you're still maintaining a balance between the two because your body formed from genetic influences. Yeah. So genetically, you're keeping it together. Yeah. And to the extent that you thought wise, vacha, manasa, vacha, karma, either through mind or thought or through the actions you do, if you're not hurting mother or father or derivatives of mother and father, which is just about everybody on the planet, they're either male, female, or a combination of both, but male, female. Yeah. So we're all related. So in my person-centric model of the universe, we are all family. Yeah. So I cannot say, oh, you're having soul seek practices. Yeah, you're having um, mystical practices. So I cannot really kill anybody. Does that make sense? Because that's when the corona radiator, yeah, this is already um, fertilized egg me. Yeah, all nice, fine. So this is also the idea of the Narishwar. Yeah, Ardha Nara Ishwara. But Ardha Narishwar is like Parvati and Shiva. There's the idea of Laila Majnu. Yeah, people didn't quite. So there's a story to refer to, and people didn't quite understand. And so these romantic relationships, people talk about arranged marriages, but don't quite know what role is love playing? How is love all related? And what job is the male and female species through love as a biomechanics, biodynamics, um, and how to improve love, how to um, turn around health, how to move history and history forward for the better. What has Earth been doing, this big wide universe, that it maintains being alive? Yeah, healthy, wealthy, wise. So that technology, those thought lines, is part of original human intelligence. Yeah. So there's this what's this movie? Um, Deepika Padukone and mm, 1 minute. Movie named Ram Leela. Yeah, where it's uh, it's a pretty gory, bloody. Yeah, so um, movie and yeah, so thought lines and oh my goodness, yeah, between the male dynasty and female dynasty. Yeah, and that movie also came about while I've been healing the fabric of time space. Um, During the 2 years of the pandemic, started much earlier there. Yeah. So that's also called Samudra Manthan. What all shows up in the fabric of time space while you're going about your daily activities, and we all have a human body. Yeah. So I've been kind of influencing the human morphic resonance field. Yeah. So there people have been talking about DNA updates and lion pathway, gateway. Yeah. So we have lots of grids, dark workers, light workers. Yeah. And I've been doing my own thing. Yeah. And I've been seeing, oh, one more. That has my thought lines. I'm like, you stole my idea. And then I was thinking, this is happening once, twice. And how does this work? And then you discover Samudra Manthan, then the textbooks, and yeah, all these thought lines. And then there's, so if I can do it, everybody can do it. Yeah. If I can turn around, heal the fabric of time space such that people were not getting sick, and then the lockdowns were lifting. If one human being can do that, yeah, and maybe I have an effect on corona. Yeah, with the corona radiator and all of that. So everyone is born from I'm born from the immunity concerns, and I'm talking about humanity across boundaries. So imagine what is possible when different people born from different parts of the body or parts of Shakti. Yeah, because I have influence to a certain extent, I think, my spheres of influence, so to speak. Yeah, and so there's this idea of some people born from the brain, they only think in particular ways. Yeah, some people are born from, I mentioned about this. Yeah. So what if I'm thinking heart and I'm thinking about immunity. Yeah. And along those lines and humanity across boundaries. And I have a body that's human. And you also have a body that's human. Yeah. So your thought lines may be same, different. You're born where you're born. And you have a tendency to think about certain things. Who knows what is possible? When you come to your own niche, I came to my niche. This is my niche. Yeah. And this is what I'm making available. Who knows what is possible when you come to your own niche from the body composition that you have, in the environment you grew in, the people you interacted with, what you studied, what you like. Yeah, I can keep talking about computers, but you want accounts. Yeah. Or I can keep talking about painting and drawing, and you want to talk about NASA. Yeah. So we may be trying our best. The parents may be trying to get you to their business, but you have to do arts. Yeah. So those kinds of thought lines, all kinds of no idea. Yeah, I mean, which is we we sometimes have a combination of many ideas, many sciences. That's why I say conscience. Each of us needs to improve our own conscience, our conglomerate science, and our theory of everything, such that your universe, my universe, and there are many, many sizes and shapes and health and your conscience, our own individual universes have our own conscience, which is why I'm developing a 5-part, 5-subject course. Yeah, held together by Prakriti. So Lalita Sahasranama is talking about Pancha Shatpita Rupena. Yeah. So there are all these historical thought lines and all this many people's thought lines. And to get what it means to be human, you got to have the sperm and ovum thought lines, God and goddess. Yeah, keeping it together. People are doing shadow work, but I don't think they've thought about the God and goddess paradigms of thinking. Yeah, Zeus and Hera, they used to have clashes. And then we have Greek mythology. Yeah. So here, nobody dying. What does it take to keep it together? Like Laila and Majnu, and nobody dies. You know? So here, lots of stories. Yeah. So do stay tuned and support in whatever manner you can so that I can develop this course so everybody comes to the same book of life, user manual. Yeah. And then you have your own version of how to be human. I mean, your own conscience, your own breathe, heal, love, live concerns. Yeah. By which to have life all sustainably, healthy, wealthy wise. And there is this common factor of us having a body that's human and to live in life in the multiverse. In our own, from each of us being in our own universe, by our own means to live in life in the multiverse. Because each of us are in our own universe, and hence we are in a multiverse. And I'm speaking from the multiversity. Yeah. I hope this gives you a little perspective on some of my ergonomic challenges. Thank you so much for your kind attention. Thank you so much for your kind interest and your support, encouragement, everything that I know, don't know, you're making available. Okay, I'm human. Yeah, I also go through emotions and all that. Yeah. Okay. Namaste.